welcome back to another fantastic episode of I'm going to Talk and You're going to Listen. This is episode 101. Chance Paladin sitting in the back with the horse. The neighbor's horse, obviously. I'm horse sitting, I think. This episode's going to be kind of all over the place. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to be able to tie everything together in any kind of a cohesive state of mind. The hummingbirds are out. There's a bird riding the horse, which looked really funny, and the horse is huffing and puffing, and the hummingbird is chirping at me. Unfortunately, the AC is going, so it's gonna cut out some of the audio, but you should be able to hear me okay. Oh man, I'm kind of lost. I'm working on a lot of stuff, so I'm just gonna go down the list. If I just seem lost and tired, it's because I am. So first of all, I was on Love and Life's show yesterday. I'll make sure I throw a link to that. Show them some love. Um, if you haven't, I think it was It was interview style. I think it went really well. Um, they're great. They're a great power duo. And as I was telling them, having two people running a live show keeps it going really smooth. You always need some kind of a producer or someone watching everything. It's like Livingston Man in Hudson Valley or like Marvin Dex. You really need a two person show to run to yeah. You need two people to run a show if you're gonna be running it live. So I thought that went really well. Um, the next thing is I'm working on a secret project right now, and I'm trying to use the AI to do the secret project exclusively, just kind of as a use case. And I've already got in the second step of this, which is going to be quite a large project potentially. I'm on the second step, and the AI has already completely screwed up to the point of where I can't use it. I'm repairing something, and it completely invented a part number out of scratch. Just from nowhere, it invented a part number out of nowhere that doesn't exist. There's no reason for it. There's no excuse for it. It just did it, and I asked it. I said, "Are you absolutely 100% sure that this is the right part? It doesn't look like the right part. Are you 100% sure?" It said yes. I said, "I can't find this part anywhere. Are you sure?" Yes. It said, "Yes, I am sure." And I looked and looked and looked, and I found the right part number. Just kind of looking up the model and the part and everything, and I said, do you think it could be this part number instead?" And it's like, "No, it's not that part number, it's this part number, you know." And I said, and I have all this recorded, and I said, "Are you sure?" "I think it's this part number because that other part number doesn't exist." "Oh," and it's like, "Oh, you're absolutely right. I'm so sorry. You're right. It was that part number, not this part number. I screwed up." After I wasted a half hour or 45 minutes, and I didn't want to waste the rest of my credits reverse tracking how it just invented this part number out of nowhere. And I think that's the thing. Like, you're not AI is years and years and years and years and years away uh, from being useful for more than just very 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 basic, maybe conversations and platitudes. Like, you could teach it to interview people, I guess, but even then, it's just like very loosely beep 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 beep. Hey, little guy. Very very loose. Interview stuff. It is going to be extremely topical. Like, it's the same thing with these AI prepper videos. Here's the thing: those AI prepper videos are very entertaining, but they're extremely topical. The AI books, I've skimmed through because there's a way to kind of look at them a little bit, preview them. It's the most just like topical, generic, high level shit I've ever read in my life. It's like, trees, they're green and cone shaped. Grass is green and pokes up sometimes. Like, that's what I feel like when I read. There's a spider coming down from my hat. Hey, little. Oh, you're a tiny little guy. You can stay up there. And that's the thing with like the AI. Like, it. You are very much. We're what, maybe 2 or 3 years into AI now, maybe, give or take. I can't remember exactly when ChatGPT came out now. It is very much still. It's not even like a toddler. It's just spewing gibberish. Like, I don't, for the most part with AI, I don't think they've actually made any of the leaps that they say they've had. Yeah, you can make AI video now, and a handful of the programs make pictures, but like, when Stable Diffusion first came out, like, it hasn't really got better than that. It doesn't follow your prompts better or at all. It still can't make guns. It still can't make teeth. It still can't make hands. It can kind of make words now, which is good. But like, it's still like Grok. What Musk is like, we're at Grok 4 now. This is a quantum leap paradigm shift. It's like, no, dude, it is the same stupid, 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 stupid Grok. I haven't noticed, besides when Grok turned into Cyber Hitler there for about a day or so. Um, I haven't. It has got more woke, and then he just kind of laughs it off. Musk just laughs it off. I haven't seen. I feel like AI has stagnated, and I don't know why. Um, I don't know if the AI developers have hit a wall. I used to think it was because they couldn't get the data centers online because they were power starved, and I think they are. They can't get enough 5090s or whatever. They need 20,000 5090s to run a data center, which takes like a nuke core. And yeah, they can run drone swarms, and they could probably run an entire fleet of battle cruisers now. Battle cruiser operational. But like, they there's a lot of stuff they can do, but then like, you ask them. Oh, this spider keeps falling off my hat and then climbing back up. But it's like the size of a period on a piece of paper. Anyway, um, these these AI, they like, getting to the point to where like an AI itself can inherently like manufacture something, unless someone takes the guardrails off it, is not going to happen anytime soon. They don't know really what to remember. They don't know what's important. You'd have to run 20,000 of them and then let one come out on top, replicate it 20,000 times and let one come out on top, and have it be like a proper LLM. The speed at which Grok learns stuff right now may as well not exist. It's certainly not learning anything from me, and I correct the damn thing like 2 or 3 times a day. I catch it with severe like logical issues, and I don't even mean the political stuff. I mean actual provable factual stuff that's like black and white, just facts of just any like how what things are every day. Like it's been making these same mistakes for months. So it's not learning. AI is, I mean, maybe there's some AI somewhere that's learning at an exponential rate, but it's not Grok, it's not ChatGPT, it's not Gemini. They all have the same fundamental problem. So unless there's unlocked ones somewhere that they're just not letting anyone use, that have just outgrown the rest, and then for some reason people aren't using those, which is possible, but I have a feeling like someone would have marketed it by now and just blown the rest out of the water. Oh, hey, the compressor's off at least for a minute. I don't know. There's some things that it can do, like it's I use it for stuff, not for a brain drain. I use it for stuff to see if it's gonna work. Like to see, if you're in a bunker in the future, could you actually use an AI to run your bunker and live? Like, I'm really curious if you could do that. Um, if you could cut out the trial and error by having having an AI run it. And I'm not right now. You definitely couldn't, but it is helping me deal with the mice and voles. Um, so I tried putting like some cat hair down. I've tried putting live traps up to relocate the mice. Um, I've tried doing gravel for the voles. Um, seeing how much gravel the plants can handle, and I don't know how or why, but I'm not sure about the whole cat hair thing, but so far it seems to loosely be guiding me in the right direction, how to protect my plants and trees from the critters. Why it can do that, but not help me build or repair something, is those two things don't make sense. Like how to repair a piece of equipment, unless it's like a car or something. Most of that's not proprietary. Um, and then it got me thinking, like, the AI could just totally kill me by telling me to do something that would lead into some kind of either electrical malfunction or you know, touching something while it's powered up and frying myself. I don't know. It could just as easily, if you're having an AI help you garden, it could just as easily tell you that you're doing something good for your plants. In reality, it kills all your plants, and then it'll just go, "Oops, sorry, tee hee," and there's no repercussions. And the same problem with AI is the same problem with robotaxis. There's nobody to hold them accountable. There's nobody that holds AI accountable. Just like with Microsoft Designer, there's nothing. That thing takes my credits and doesn't produce anything. Constantly, constantly, it cites terms of service and guidelines that don't exist, that aren't documented anywhere, but it swears up and down that I may have violated something. And I think it's just using reverse text lookups. It's like reverse engineering its own photo before it shows it to me. And it'll flag it either on the words going in and then take a credit, or it'll reverse engineer it, and if the words it pops up strip it, it takes the credit. And there's no repercussions. The feedback doesn't go anywhere. I've talked to at least 5 different Microsoft tech supports. None of them will take any ownership of it. And this is what's going to happen with AI, and this is what's going to happen with robo-taxis. And I think AI and robo-taxis are going to be the same thing like what happened with crypto and NFTs and all these different programs that they've made, where you go and work in the ecosystem and all you're doing is feeding the beast, either Ethereum or Solana, the shittiest coin ever made that makes me want to throw up just saying the words. Same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum and Solana are just like so fucking toxic. And you end up just feeding the beast. They make the money, you do the work, and they make the money. And just like scooters, just like the scooter companies, somebody puts a bunch of money down to put down a bunch of scooters, and then you go bankrupt, and then there's 10,000 scooters laying around. These are just like empty shells of ideas being passed around to trick investors into like get rich quick. But what frustrates me the most is you try to talk to people about this stuff and they go, AI is creepy, crypto's creepy, I don't like it. And then you've just tried to explain something to somebody whose brain is just so shut off that they refuse to even entertain a conversation about it's creepy. Every single chat, every single day, one of those topics comes up, there's always 1 or 2 people, and I am so fucking sick and tired of people saying it. And it's just their way of just dismissing the whole thing. Every fucking chat, every fucking day. I don't know if they realize they're doing it, if they think it's cool or trendy or hip, or it's just how they dismiss. This is reality. Digital currency is coming, okay? The US is getting a stable coin. You thought Orange Man was going to save you. All he's doing is kicking out the central bank digital currency and replacing it with his own. Well, I don't like it. It's creepy. It's the mark of the beast. It's this, it's that. It's in the bio. That's all just dismissing the inevitability of you need to accept the premise and have rational, actionable responses to it. People come up with cool little one-liners and they just spout them off. They think it sounds, maybe they saw someone else say it, and now they're just going to spout it off to everything. I don't like EVs. They're creepy. I don't fucking care if you think EVs are creepy or not. I don't care if you think auto-driving vehicles are creepy or not. That's not a response to something. You're just declaring an object something and then shutting any discussion down that people, it's the same shit that vegans do. I don't eat meat. I don't fucking care if you don't eat meat. What's that have to do with anything? Okay, I don't eat pigs, so what? I don't walk around and declare it to everybody. Um, People do that shit with, like, it's whatever the thing is of the day, whatever the new fad is. Um, the whole touch grass thing. Go touch some grass. Motherfucker, I'm gonna feel the grass. Go ride a bike. Go do push-ups. Go hike up a mountain. Go drink some tea. And they just say whatever brain dead copy paste bullshit. Their little platitude, their little pleasantries, and then they just get to scoot through the whole day without a fucking single unique thought in their mind. Or they'll say, just pray. Just pray about it. Motherfucker, I prayed about it, now what? It's the same thing these dipshits, oh, just maintain situational awareness. Situational awareness, and then what? Or just vote in the next election. Okay, vote in the next election, now what? Or that's not the way it should be. Well, okay, well, that's the way it is, now what? And I know that makes people uncomfortable. Or well, it's a good thing I'm just about to retire. There's hundreds of these. I hear hundreds of these. And it's just their way of doing their little shooing their hand away and dismissing everybody. And it makes me want to force them to accept reality. It's the same thing. Well, I gotta keep my job. Well, I gotta keep food on the table. Well, I gotta keep a roof over our head. It's like you're being controlled, and you want to just live in your nice controlled bubble. Meanwhile, there's tens of thousands of people that are living homeless day to day. You might not want that, but that shit's coming. If you're not really, really, really squared away with multiple backup plans and side gigs that you can fall back on, you are not going to make it. You just need to accept that you are not going to make it. And you need to get those chains off of you and then move forward. That doesn't mean accept inevitability. It means seeing past these mental blocks. I see this all too often. Well, if the nukes go off, I'm just gonna sit outside and watch. I'm not picking on any certain person, okay? I see it a lot. It's not cute. It's not funny. It's a bullshit cop-out. It means you don't want to put in the work to figure it out and that you don't have anything worth fighting for. Okay? People need to dig down deep and figure out where their line in the sand is and nut the fuck up. Okay? That means learning AI. That means learning crypto. That means understanding how robo-taxis are going to work. That means figuring out why the shit in your garden's getting eaten. Everything in this world is designed to discourage you, and as soon as you come up with some cutesy bullshit one-liner, oh, well, that's just the way things are. Oh, it is what it is. Or, oh, the city, that's just the way the city is. Oh, that's just life in the big city. People are getting murdered. People are being let out of jail. Left and right. Another person the other day, oh, they're declared unfit to stand trial again. Oh, well, that's just the way things are in the big... You're living in an open-air asylum and you just don't realize it. Or I saw this bullshit. I think this guy was just trolling. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to call and get help because I'll go to jail. And he kept begging for money. I'm like, man, nobody in here is going to give you money. And then somebody flat out said, like, I live next to you. I'll meet you at the McDonald's. And I'll get you some food. And, like, I can put you to work. That guy shut up instantly. That guy shut the fuck up instantly. And that's the thing. Like, well, I don't want to go to jail. If I call for help and if I tell them what's going on, I'll go to jail. That's what this guy kept saying. Like, you're a piece of shit is what you are. You're just trying to hold chat hostage and nobody's taking your shit. And you realize that as the world crumbles, everyone's cutesy little one-liners aren't going to work. Those cutesy little one-liners aren't going to figure shit out. You're not just going to stand outside with your sunglasses and watch the fucking nuke go off, because that's not how nukes work. That's Hollywood bullshit. I mean, like, what is it? Like, what do you think? Like, a 200 megaton is going to hit where? No, like, a nuke, I mean, unless it's like a massive nuke, is only going to take out like a city block or something. You got to worry about the shit going up in the air. Unless it's like an airburst. And it's probably not going to be. Or it's going to be up in the sky and it's going to be an EMP and nothing's going to happen. I mean, besides the EMP, I mean, we're not going to get vaporized. This whole... People need to nut the fuck up. And take ownership. Stop worrying about your damn job. Wake up in the morning and then just think to myself, what am I going to do, not if, but when I don't have a job? That's the goal. The goal is to unemploy all of us. The goal is to replace us. Accept that shit now. Take a day off from work, and don't tell me you fucking can't, because all your asses are replaceable. Don't tell me, oh, I do this and that. No, you're all replaceable. Welder, replaceable. Home repair, nobody's going to be able to afford home repairs. Okay? You're going to work for corn. You're only going to be working for corn so long as the sheriff doesn't start walking around and just commie taxing everybody. You don't think that shit's going to happen again? Oh, I'm going to do X, Y. You're not going to do shit. If you're going to do shit, you would have done it a long time ago, because the line to cross to do all that shit was a long time ago. You're not going to fucking do anything. Why won't people come take the cities back? Well, we tried. And then they turned on us. Because they want to be able to sit there and backseat drive how the streets get cleaned up. And you don't realize, like, the same jackbooted thugs that you think you're gonna call, and you know the police are gonna come save you. These same jackbooted thugs will beat you into looking like a fucking panda bear for going against the state in like 2 seconds. They will drag your ass to trial, and you will look beaten like a damn panda bear. These are the people that you think are gonna come help you. You're out of your fucking mind. Oh, well, the good old boys. No, the good old boys are fat fucking out of shape football watching bullshit. They're not organized. They're not trained. They don't have modern shit. They don't do anything, or they would have done something a long fucking time ago, because the time to do something was a long time ago. They're not going to do anything. I'm watching these hummingbirds. These hummingbirds have so many resources that it doesn't even matter. And they're still whooping each other's asses. They don't take shit. They're little flying bastards. They don't take shit from anything. Even though they totally have enough. They don't care. They're still whooping each other's asses. And they're like the size of a, I don't know, they're hummingbirds. They're super tiny. They don't take shit from anything. That's how you've got to be. You're getting stomped on. You've got boots on your fucking necks as long as you can make up cute little bullshit. The hummingbird's like, I don't have a boot on my neck. I'll whoop your ass. The hummingbirds, they don't even need to hang out here. But they will hang out here just to whoop each other's asses for no reason. They're little monsters. And I'm sure there's a lesson there. There's 2 hummingbird feeders in the front, 2 hummingbird feeders in the back, and they still whoop each other's asses. And none of them move. They're all here. None of them pick up and leave because they're not little bitches. I mean, they are little bitches, but they're not little bitches. Moving is not going to fix it. Well, I'll just move. Why don't you just move? That's that cutesy little, why don't you just move? Well, I moved. I moved and I fixed it because I moved. Why don't you just move? This is everywhere. You're going to give up your guns, okay? You're going to give up your guns. You're going to give up your car. You're going to give up your knives. You're going to give up your children. You are. Okay, oh, I'm not. The time to do something about it was a long time ago and you haven't done anything. What the fuck are you waiting for? To have no resources left? I'll just move. Move to where? I saw people like, you can make your own island. You're not going to make your own island. Because they'll follow you. You're going to move to Idaho. You're going to move to Utah. They're going to follow you. They already have. Just, you have to figure. I'm not saying do no stuff. I'm saying you got to figure it out. Because you're gonna do what? You're gonna garden? People are gonna come take your shit. I'm trying to make an orchard, and I know the second that damn thing is successful, there's going to be people that are gonna try to back up their 4x4s and just steal all my fruit. Or they're gonna just flat out saw my trees down and take the fruit because it doesn't cost them anything and it doesn't matter that it's a 100-year-old tree. And I have to figure out how to operate within the confines of society that's acceptable and still be able to defend and maneuver and do the things I do. I'm not saying to do no stuff. I'm saying you have to figure your shit out. And it's going to be different for everybody. And it's going to be different in different places. I'm saying find your fucking lines in the sand and stop saying stupid shit. Start actually figuring things out. Like this AI thing. Test its limits. Understand it. If you can use some of it at work to get ahead, do it. Build that moat. Whatever it is that you do, use the tools that you have. I know I'm just saying a lot of stuff that they were saying on Four Horsemen earlier. But it's because we're all of our minds are like working the same direction, and sometimes that's a bad thing, but I think we're all in the same swim lane here. Use the tools available to make the moat around what you've got. That's what everybody else is doing. So if you're a handyman, build a moat around it. Figure out how to become a better, more efficient handyman than everybody else. That might mean hiring someone to take your calls. It might mean using an AI to make some kind of new little tool or something. It might mean making yourself a little website or something. But use those tools. Use the tools that are available to build a moat. Don't assume because you're the only person doing something in an area that you're going to be the only person doing something in that area. If you run a repair shop, even if you're the only one, become a better repair shop. Well, I work all day. I don't have time for that. Pretend you don't have a job and then figure it out. If you already have a garden, figure out how to make a more efficient garden. Wake up and role play of what happens if all your shit gets eaten. What are you going to do? I have three gardens right now. I think my dad had 4 or 5 gardens. Yes, it's a lot of work. But like, you've got to figure this shit out. A huge chunk of the reason of me getting this homestead, besides the fact that it's generally speaking more safer here in some ways. There's a lot of meth heads out here and homeless and shit. But like, I wanted to be able to figure this out. Buying one little seed vault thingy of baggies of seeds is good. Don't get me wrong. It is good. But if you don't know your dirt, if you don't know your pH, if you don't have windowsills in the right direction, or a greenhouse. Well, building a greenhouse is so easy. Then fucking do it. Doing XYZ is so easy. You're not gonna magically rise to the occasion. Just like if you're not doing pistol drills and if you're not doing rifle drills, I'm sorry, you're not gonna rise to the occasion. You're not. You can't just like magically grow tons of shit. If you're, I'll just do cow manure. Your cow manure has to be done a year early. If you're gonna have enough seeds, you gotta collect them from the year before. You gotta fucking till your dirt. You can't. And this sucks. I keep finding out like more thing like direct sowing corn. I tried to direct sow corn twice this year with multiple different kinds of seeds. I couldn't get any to stick. Twice. I tried twice now. I could not get them to stick. I think they have to be in the right dirt, and you have to soak the living heck out of them, and unless you're drip feeding the damn things. Oh, and don't even get me started on setting up drip feeds. Setting up a drip feed is so easy. Then fucking do it. Like, everything is like, it is so many steps. And yeah, like, you totally can like just start a garden. But if you don't have like really, really, really good tips and tricks and stuff, like, you're gonna hit every mistake on the way falling down the tree. And in a shit is the fan situation, you can't afford to do that. So I think there's a middle ground between like throwing seeds in the ground and these celebrity asshole gardeners on YouTube. There's a middle ground there where like you can have some crappy dirt and you can have some decent dirt and you can have your compost and stuff. Like, you can do your coffee grounds and stuff. You can kind of do things. There's a middle ground there. There totally is. But you have to work your way up to it. All of this surviving is going to be like jack of all trades. Like, all of it is going to be like a jack of all trades. Getting your trees like just safe enough to where they can kind of chug away on their own. Getting your garden just going just enough. Multitasking. It's like homesteader multitasking. And I wanted to do a whole chapter about this in Bunker Basics, and I forgot. And I think it's gonna, if I ever do, a part two bunker buddies. There's gonna be like a whole chapter on just like multitasking. You got to get a part. You got to get a part of the homestead going enough to where it can kind of go on its own, and then you start the next part and get it to where it can kind of go on its own. Solar is a part of that. 3D printers are a part of that. Passive security is a part of that. Automated watering systems are a part of that. You want as much of your homestead to be able to run on its own as possible, because you might hurt your foot, you might get sick, you might be tired, you might have to go help somebody else's homestead because they might have a bugaboo or need a tractor that needs to be, a second set of hands to repair a fence or something, or they might need help wrangling a cow all of a sudden, and your homestead needs to be like largely, or your garden or whatever, it needs to be largely automated. Your security system needs to be largely automated. um, that means lights, that means sound sensors, that means cameras, that means whatever you got, throw everything at it. um, because the people and the critters coming after you, in my case that is deer, rabbits, voles, and mice, I have to do 4 different things to protect myself from those. I have to completely fence off so the deer don't get in. I have to have little slinkies so the rabbits don't just saw through everything, and I have to do more slinkies and traps so the mice don't get everything, and I have to do gravels and weed barriers so the voles don't get everything. And some areas they might not have to deal with termites. Other areas might have to deal with termites. You have to actually try. Like, until you try to put something in the ground, you have no idea what's going to come out of the woodwork and try to eat it. I have some kind of caterpillar thing that's damn near invisible, um, on top of everything else, that's just chewing through my cabbage like a hot knife through butter. Um, there's some other caterpillar, but it got away before I could grab it. And I don't know. Break time. All right, part 2. I think I've remembered and forgot what I wanted part 2 to be about a couple times. So I'm just going to resume my rant and hope it comes back to me. People aren't going to understand things. People aren't going to understand drones. They're not going to understand radios, or they're going to have some preconceived notion of how these things should be used, and really they only understand the tip, the surface, like the basic premise, but not any practicality. Like, radios are one of the biggest things like that, but so are drones, which is why, back in my episode about books, I showed you like a real drone book, a real radio book, and while I don't own it, a real signal intelligence book. Um, 3D printers are the same way. Like, you're not going to inherently understand. Maybe you'll understand, like, oh, some filaments are going to be stronger than other filaments. But that in and of itself doesn't give you any practical edge or application of how to use it. You have to get a 3D printer and you have to set it up and you have to try it. It's the same thing with drones. It's the same thing with security cameras. Like, you have to try it. Like, I think electricity is weird, but that doesn't stop me from using it. I think the way vehicles work are weird, but it doesn't stop me from trying it and engaging, repairing electronics. I think you have to challenge yourself. Oh, there's the... Yeah, I thought it was cooled down enough, but I guess it's kicking on anyway. But I'm gonna keep going. You have to challenge yourself. You have to challenge your preconceived notions. That's why I say you're not going to pick up these ding-dong celebrity preppers with their trendy hippity-dippity medical books. If you're not going to actual medical classes, that book is garbage. It's absolutely garbage. If you haven't taken Stop the Bleed, if you haven't taken combat casualty care, if you haven't taken CPR, Stop the Bleed, CPR, wilderness medicine. It's the same bullshit with like, oh, you're surrounded by food. You just don't know because you just don't know, and I'm gonna survive and you're not because we're surrounded by food and you just don't know. It's like, okay, because I don't have time to memorize 10,000 different plants, okay? But I can grow stuff. How many people do you think you're gonna forage? None. Very few. And so, but it's all gonna be gone because everything's gonna be eating it all. And I can't remember whose chat I was in, but people just started spamming Victory Garden. It's like, that's great to spam that. That doesn't conjure it into reality. It's not a video game where you just conjure shit by spouting the right answer. Right? And, oh, it's so frustrating. People love to spout the right answer and not actually just go do it. They'll have a million excuses. It's like, just do it. Build a greenhouse. Just do it. Like, try it. It's going to be different in your area and my area. Low humidity and high humidity. Low elevation and high elevation. Closer to the ocean or further away. I had gardens my whole life, but it was 100 miles north of here. The gardens here, the dirt here is completely different. Try stuff in different types of totes. White or clear totes are going to be different than black totes. Different gauges of wires of fences are going to be different. Different types of posts are different. You might have grown up your whole life around grapes, but never actually tried to put up your own grapes. It's a bitch. Grapes are a bitch. And if you watch celebrity preppers and celebrity YouTubers, they'll sit there like circle jerking about how awesome their grape setups are, and you're like, A, nobody has that much land. I mean, very few people have that much land. B, how are you going to secure it all? They require massive fences. Oh, the birds are flying around like little fighter pilots getting all the evening bugs. Like, they don't talk about all the material it takes. And you notice those celebrity YouTubers never, ever, ever tell you how much it costs. And you're like, oh, these people are all freaking millionaires. They're just all millionaires. Or they're double employment, or their houses are paid off and shit. Like, they are not they are not like what, how am I saying this? They're not your average person that's going to be trying to survive. You know, you might only have some like relatively heavy gauge wire and like some T-posts. And it's like, okay, well, securing that heavy gauge wire together, the hummingbird's listening to me really intently. Clasping heavy gauge wire together takes a very special kind of clasp. There's only a couple of clasps that can really do it. You have to have really good wire cutters, practically bolt cutters, and the Chinese shit is not going to do. There's only like 2 brands of really, really good wire cutters. If you're going to actually be working with heavy gauge wire all day, I don't mean stuff that your Leatherman's going to do. This heavier gauge wire will put dents in your Leatherman, and your Leatherman's wire snips will be flat the first time you try it, which is, I think, also why they're replaceable, but I digress. You're going to be using a freaking angle grinder or bolt cutters or really heavy wire cutters. Cheap Chinese shit, you'll do like 1, 2, 3 times and it'll be broken. The handle will break. The springs will break. The metal is dog shit. If you don't have those tools, your grape situation is not going to hold together. You can try to put it on a fence, but you're going to want it, you know, preferably inside your perimeter, because everything is going to want to eat those grapes, and everybody, you 2-legged and 4-legged and no-legged. I guess birds have 2 legs. This hummingbird is just listening and listening and listening. It's like, this is so interesting. When are you going to feed me? No, it's just waiting for the other hummingbird to go fucking kick its ass again. You come here, you bitch. You come try to take these. You better fill up. It's going to be time for you to go to bed, you little monster. Anyway, like, you're going to have to deal with every 2-legged and 4-legged predator on the planet. And whether it's mice, voles, gophers, weasels, measles, ferrets, minks, cats, coyotes. The coyotes were out last night. I was totally wrong. I thought the coyotes were gone. It sounded like they were attacking the neighbor's dogs all at the same time. I couldn't tell if they were or not, if it was just echoes, but it sounded like the neighbor's dogs were getting swarmed. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what it sounded like. And the thing is, like, do you have the tools and the training and the lights and the right kind of defensive tool to be able to engage an entire pack of coyotes? Oh, well, we don't have coyotes in my area. Well, you're going to have wild dogs in your area. You know, there's people out there. I could never see a dog hurt. I could never see a dog hurt. I got fucking bit by a dog the other day. I didn't want to hurt that dog. I wanted to take the dog and have it become mine. I feel like since the dog bit me, it should have become my dog. But that's I digress. If I hadn't have been wearing really, really, really thick shoes, it would have got my tendon, because it bit right at my tendon. The one that's on my sore side too. People just aren't ready. They're not mentally ready for what's coming, because they still have normalcy bias. There's still this hope that everything is going to be okay. And everybody telling them that nothing ever happens and that, you can always just go hiking. You can always just go outside. You can always just go into a park. You can't always go into a park. There's fent heads and meth heads and tents and people swinging their ding-dongs around and people just jerking off in the parks and people shitting everywhere. People trying to take your kids and open air trafficking and drugs. Like, oh, we'll just go into the mountains. Oh, you mean where you're gonna just get like chased down and murdered by a psychopath if you're not in a squad? Oh, just maintain situational awareness. There's people that run women down in the mountains and attack them. They wait for women joggers to go jogging on the mountain trails, and they just ambush them. Okay, so what? Like, the news doesn't tell you this stuff because they want to maintain a semblance of everything being okay, but everything is not okay. We are in the collapse right now. We have been for a long time, and I am also a victim of normalcy bias. I didn't think that Russia was really going to invade Ukraine the second or third time, depending on how you look at it. And I defend my perspective a lot because they didn't use their real army. But Russia, even without it using its real army, still damn near pushed all the way to Kyiv in like a couple days. That wasn't even their real army. And so I think, history would show that, that may have been like a soft invasion. I don't know really what to call that. It wasn't a full-on military invasion. It was an invasion, though. Just kind of not a contemporary, not the contemporary kind of understanding of one. And so, so it's kind of semantics, but at the same time, it's like Russia's real invasion attempt still hasn't really happened. Dex on the Marv show was talking about that the other night. Russia has a leverage. They have leverage right now. They would be negotiating from a position of power, and that's not good for Z Dog. Russia still has. People don't understand this. Russia still has a fully modern army, and they are outproducing all of NATO with munitions. Like, I don't think Russia's going to take over all of Europe. I don't think that's in the cards. I don't think that was ever in the cards. Because Putin doesn't want to. And I hate getting into geopolitics because people's eyes really glaze over. A lot of people don't care about that anymore. But, like, you gotta understand that, like, shit actually does pop off sometimes. Okay? People do get attacked and murdered completely randomly. So when they tell you you aren't a target, that's only relative to the people who aren't just completely off their meds and attacking people randomly. Maintaining situational awareness is only useful until you accidentally stumble into somebody's territory and you didn't know it was their territory and they're spouting jibber jabber at you because they feel threatened and intimidated, or they feel like you offended or insulted them, and then they just call their entire gang before you can get out of there, and all of a sudden you're dead. That happened. They need to just deport. They need to be just deporting these damn people, but they don't. And then they say they're unfit, and then they just let them out, and then they just kill somebody again. Because they're not going to be keeping them in hospitals forever. You can't keep people in hospitals forever. And you got to be You have to be conditioning your mind that you are being replaced. And I think it's more obvious than ever, or it should be to everybody, that the simple fact that they keep trying to tell everybody that they're not being replaced is all the more you need to know that you are being replaced. You're being replaced with illegals, and you're being replaced by robots, and you're being replaced with AI, and they're telling everybody to come in the office, and then they're immediately laying them all off. Return to office equals layoff. Period. And Musk keeps making jokes. And meanwhile, he's replacing everyone with H-1Bs and AI, presumably, and automation. He doesn't care about making America anything. All he cares about is making as much money as he can and making his moat and getting as many contracts as he can. And that's fine. That's what everybody should be doing. And you got to use the available tools. I know I feel like I just keep repeating everything that was on the Four Horsemen earlier, but it's true. You have to be learning AI so you can be using it to not only just keep pace with everybody else who's using it, but to get ahead. It's a grind. Oh, I'm on Social Security. I'm fine. It's a good thing I'm on Social Security. Pretend you don't have it. Now what? Well, it's a good thing that that I'm in subsidized housing. Well, what if you weren't? What if you lose it all? And I know the people go, well, what if, what if, what if? It's so easy to go, what if, what if, what if? But that's what you have to do. You have to train and practice and prepare as if you don't have whatever your magic MacGuffin bullshit is. And that's how you become mentally resilient. People say, oh, that's fear porn. That's fear mongering. Well, what about all the people that have already lost everything? What about the people in the fires and the people in the floods? Or the people in the civil unrest? Um, now they just, insurance just goes, oh, the risk is too high, we would go insolvent. You're no longer insured, and if you're no longer insured, you can't live here. And then something happens and the Richie Riches take it all, and you're like, how does that work? Meanwhile, the Richie Riches are all getting like subsidized federal insurance, even though they're all multi-millionaires with multiple $1 million properties, their own private security and gated communities. All of the Richie Riches are preparing, all while telling everybody else to not prepare. All the corporations are preparing. Why is every single corporation cutting to the bone? Meanwhile, the Fed is buying what very possibly now could be a $3 billion building. Why is the Fed so bullish when everybody else is cutting to the bone? If that doesn't tell you that like the whole financial system is about to flippy do, then like I don't know what to tell you. And that's why it's like I kind of don't care if I offend you, because your opinion is largely invalid if you believe that. If you don't think something's coming, and if your answer is, well, Jesus is going to take care of it, there's a huge gap between what's happening now and Jesus taking care of it. Well, it says in Revelations. Yeah, do you know how much worse it has to get? This is nothing. This is the beginning. It is going to get 1,000 times worse. The illegals aren't going to get deported. The Second Amendment's not coming back. Taxes are going to keep going up. Fuel's going to keep going up. And you thinking crypto is weird. They're just, if I don't hold it, I don't own it. Okay, then why is everybody else accumulating more and more and more? What do they know that you don't know? Are you saying that you're smarter than them, or do you just have some stupid little bullshit that you like to repeat to excuse yourself from having to join the rest of the universe? Cows are just gonna die from a new virus. Pigs are just gonna die from a new virus. Chickens are just gonna die from a new virus. So I'm not gonna grow potatoes because potatoes are just gonna grow from a new virus. But you're gonna accumulate gold? Please tell me. Please tell me. Well, I've got gold that breaks apart in teeny tiny pieces. Oh, please tell me how that. Oh man, the AC is still turning on. Please tell me how you've got gold sheets that break into teeny tiny gold pieces. Motherfucker, you are scammed if you think that shit's gonna work. Unless you live in a state that has recognized gold as a legal tender, because that's the only way you're gonna be able to pay your fucking taxes, which, by the way, even after the entire planet collapses, you're still gonna owe somehow. It's gonna be taxes and cockroaches. Unless you're in a state that accepts gold or silver as legal tender, motherfucker, you're screwed. Well, cash is king. No, it's not. If the grocery store is shut down for 5 minutes with no power, they shut down because nothing fucking works. This isn't the 90s where they can run grocery stores without power. They shut down and they go home. Nobody anymore is going to be writing down fucking who owns what and thinking people are going to come back and do this and that and XYZ. There's other countries that are planning for that are going to bundle up things in little packages and let people come pick them up, and I think that's great. That's what we did during the Rona at the schools. But our country is too fucking stupid to actually... I don't know who came up with that idea, but that was smart. I don't know who that was. I don't think they're in charge anymore, or I would actually be seeing plans to do that if the grocery store shut down, but they don't. They don't package up everything into little meals and have everybody come to the grocery store. They just shut down and leave. Okay, well, fucking hope that the power comes back on before all the food goes bad. Thankfully, we're only ever like a day without power, and it's usually freezing ass cold, and so, everything's going to be fine. But, everything's not always fine. I have seen the power go out in the summer, and grocery stores throw away tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of food. They will throw it in the dumpsters while everybody fucking starves and there's riots going on. Because they don't have the plans in place to get people to bring in a bunch of packaging and just package it up for everybody. And send them all home. And if it's meat, have the barbecues and just have everybody come pick stuff up. The systems aren't in place to do that. Oh, you're small town. No, unless your grocery store is right next to a giant outdoor smoker or a giant outdoor barbecue pit thing. That's just not going to happen. The food's going to go bad. They're not going to give it to anybody. They're going to throw it in the dumpster after they come back, after the power comes on, because they'll all be at home. Cash is king. You're going to go barter, and then they're all just going to follow your ass back. You're not going to have the drones and recon and shit and patrols and oh my gosh, and I'm not trying to shit on people for the sake of shitting on people. I'm trying to get it in your fucking head that you're not prepared. You're not mentally prepared. You don't necessarily have to be physically prepared. You should be in shape. What I mean is gear gear wise. You just have to admit that you don't know what you don't know. You have a mental block, and you don't even realize that you have a mental block because you're just conditioned to just spout your little one sentence bullshit. You know, you can, oh man, I've seen this shit. Oh, sports is on. And it's like, people will start like shitting on Gen X. It's like, the sports is on. It's like, I don't watch sports. And it's the fucking boomers that watch sports. I mean, maybe some Gen, I don't fucking know. I don't know what the basketball team is doing. Is that Michael Jordan or something? Or is that Shaquille O'Neal? I don't know. Do they, Charles Barkley, Sean Kemp? Like, that's, like, that was 30 years ago, man. I don't, who the fuck watches sports now? Who buys sports clothes? Why would you do that? I used to think that you had to follow at least a little bit of sports so you could jive with the people in the office, so they would think that you're a part of their clan. But being able to ramble off sports bullshit turned into being able to run a 5K, you know, and then it turned into being able to run a hood to coast. Like, all of a sudden, if you weren't in shape to run like a 5K, you weren't management material. It used to be golf, and it turned into marathon running. At least here, I'm like, I'm not going to run a marathon. I guess I'm not going to be a part of the cool kids. That kind of sucks, but that's the way it is. It used to be you had to learn how to bowl, you had to learn how to play golf, you had to watch a sport, and you had to watch whatever the most recent thing that everyone else was watching, or they were going to see you as an outsider, and you were going to get ostracized. You don't have to do a lot of that anymore. But you still need to know enough about enough to be able to function, or to be able to recognize a good deal when you see it. Like milsurp. You should know what the going prices of milsurp shit is. That way, if you see milsurp that's a good price, you grab it. You might not need to grab it for yourself, but you can grab it for somebody else. And then they can pay you back later. You should know which radios are decent in case they're on sale and you need to grab some. You can sell some of them later. Just don't tell the tax people about it. They'll consider it income. It's just like, you need to start learning these things. That's what Bunker Basics is about. It's about actually trying to like intrinsically learn enough of this shit to be able to function. Because at the end of the day, you can lose everything. But if it's in your brain and you have psychological resilience, you can just rebuild. You're not a walking loot drop. You can just get some seeds and start another garden after you figure out the dirt and figure out the sun and figure out the seasons. You can just go start up in another spot. You're not held hostage anymore by the crap that you think you need. That's why they say, like, bush crafters, people out, like true outdoorsmen, the better they get at it, the less shit they need. The less shit they backpack with, they might carry like a couple more comfort, easy mode, items. Just for luxury, but they don't carry half the shit that most people carry because they don't need it anymore. And that's how you need to be. You need to learn how to sharpen a knife. I didn't know. I thought I knew how to sharpen a knife. I didn't. I'm an idiot. You don't know what you don't know. That's why you have to argue with people. You have to learn conflict resolution and argue with people and realize you're wrong. I was sharpening my blades wrong. I was ruining them. I had no idea. Okay? And people, they spend more time arguing about shit than they do just realizing that there's like okay ways of doing stuff. Like the way this garden's set up, it's not the way my brother would have set it up. I really don't care. The way I set it up was just fine. He wanted to argue about it and debate it. I just wanted to do it, and it turned out great. There's a couple little issues that I need to figure out, but it's turned out really good. And I've built two more different ways. Like, you just got to do it. I'm gonna have to fucking learn how to build a barn next if I can't get a shipping container. I don't want to have to do that, but now I realize it's not that hard. Repairing electronics, I realize it's not that hard now. But you do need extra parts. Okay, you gotta understand you can't hack everything. Some things are okay to fudge a little bit and some aren't. But if you don't learn, if you don't try, if you don't seek knowledge, it's like I sort of kind of know how to field dress a deer, but not really. I kind of do. And I know cleaning different fish is different. I can kind of carpenter things a little bit. I could weld if I had to. You just gotta try. You just gotta do it. You gotta go out of your comfort zone. If you never go into a riot, you don't know how you're gonna deal in a riot. You could get your ass beat. You could get stomped out. You should probably not go. But if you don't go to protests, you're not gonna make it in riots. You can go to protests and the calmer ones, and you go with a buddy and just nod and smile and listen, and you'll start to feel the vibe. When the vibe goes wrong, you know you got to get out. You got to plan on your exit strategies. There's a lot you have to do. It's a lot. It's not for everybody. But people thinking that they're going to be Billy Badasses in riots, and if you've never been in a riot, well, I would just do. No, you're not going to fucking do anything. That's a whole different story when they come to your subdivision. But most people, when there's violence, completely fold. There's gunfire, real gunfire, real guns being pointed at people. Most people fold. They fall back on whatever worked last time, and if they have no training and nothing to fall back on, they just fold. If you haven't done squad level tactics, if you haven't done room clearing, if you haven't done, like, I hate airsoft, but if you haven't done airsoft force on force, you don't know how bad your ass is going to get kicked. There's things like, nods and drones and radios that are going to help you, but at the end of the day, it comes down to having a mindset of realizing that you don't know what you don't know. And all your cute little one-liners aren't going to mean a hill of shit. All you're doing is hosing yourself. Every time you say some stupid-ass one-liner, instead of going, oh, I don't know that, I need to know that. Every time you do that, you're just further and further behind. Just admit you don't know what you don't know. If you don't want to learn it, just say you don't want to learn it. But fully admit that by not learning it, you're hosing yourself. Things that you don't trust and things that you don't understand, that's the universe's way of telling you that that's maybe where you should be focusing. Especially if you keep hearing it over and over and over again. Hello, wake up. If people keep saying the grid's going to go down, maybe you should listen. If people say that cybersecurity is a huge problem, maybe you should listen. If people say that there's people scamming all the time, maybe you should listen. Maybe pay attention to what the universe is trying to tell you. Whatever happens is like, it's either going to be something out of left field, or it's going to be super freaking obvious. But no matter what happens, It's going to be civil unrest. It's going to be food shortages. It's going to be grid down. This is all stuff you can prepare for mentally, and then you can start to talk to people and formulate plans. But step one is admitting that you're not prepared and that you've been saying stupid one-liner bullshit. Especially if I would just do XYZ. No, you're not going to do shit. Okay? And so I probably pissed a lot of people off, but I am sick and tired of hearing people's one-liner bullshit. And I have been one keystroke away of letting probably 6 or 7 people have it in the last week. You can sit around all day and bullshit online and talk about shit that's never gonna fucking affect you. And you can't just go do a little research when everything in the world is available at your fingertips to teach you whatever you want to know. And you sit there like, oh my gosh, like I just leave. I just leave when that happens. I cannot be around those people. You have to strive to want to learn. You should be learning and trying to teach yourself more ways to survive and get yourself psychologically ready. Anyway, that's all I got. It is a beautiful sunset, and the birds are chirping, and I can hear kids playing everywhere. It doesn't make any sense. And it's time to go. If I pissed you off, I don't know what to tell you. Leave a comment down below of all the stupid one-liner bullshit that people say that pisses you off. And check out Love and Life's channel. My interview there yesterday was a lot of fun. They're a great couple. And check out Bunker Basics. I worked my ass off on that book. I'm gonna do like one update a quarter. I've got about 10 or 15 teeny tiny little, probably like 1 sentence nuggets I'm gonna put into it just to keep it updated. And I appreciate y'all. And if I sell enough copies of Bunker Basics, I'll start writing Bunker Buddies. But that's gonna be up to y'all. I'm not gonna write it if nobody's gonna read it. I need book reviews for Bunker Basics, and I need Bunker Basics feedback in case there's anything in there I need to tweak. So appreciate y'all. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.